Hey, happy Thursday, guys. It's time to stretch. Let's get excited. I'm going to spend a quick 15 minutes today. We're going to do the hips. Now, these stretches today might give us a lot of challenge because they are dynamic movement that require you to do more than one movement at once. So this might be a nice, good challenge. But like I said, any stretches that you guys see that go live or that go under the Stretch and Recover with Me channel, you will have chances to repeat and practice them on your own and with me. So let's start this thing going. So the first thing we're going to be doing is a Spider-Man. I'm going to be using my entire mat. And a Spider-Man is a plank position. So it does require me either being in a plank or if you need to be on your knee, you can be on your knee. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a plank and we're going to step that foot to the hand and then I'm going to push my knee out and then I'm going to come back, kick my leg up in the air, place it back and then step to the other side. Push my knee out, come back, kick that leg up in the air and then come back to that plank. So this is just 30 minutes, 30 seconds. Stretching that knee open and then extending that hip flexor or extensor back into the air. So I'm giving myself a good 30 seconds of each movement. I'm stretching that leg out and then back into a plank. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're really feeling yourself get loose. Kick it up in the air. Last time. Reaching that hip out, kicking it out. Extending that leg up and then stretching it back down. So that's our first one. And like I said, we're going to do them twice, but I'm going to go through all five first. So if you have a mat, I'm going to go to the back of my mat because I'm doing a squat that requires me to move a little bit. So making sure you can see me at the bottom of my mat. I'm going to squat and then I'm going to place my hands out in front and squat again and push my knees out. And with me pushing my knees out, this is helping me to just open my hips up. So I'm going to squat again, push my knees out. Squat again, push my knees out. Excuse me. So then I start right back at the top and I do it again. Nice good squat, pushing those knees out. I'm going to reach my hands out and jump forward, open those knees. Jump forward, open those knees. This one can be very challenging and burning because you are constantly opening up your knees and you're hopping in a squat. So hop, open, hop, open. And this is again, stretching those hips out. One more time, 10 seconds left, 30 seconds at a time. Open, hop, open, hop. Good. All right, let's come down on all fours. Getting warmed up yet? Here we go. So this is the downward dog, but it's called a kick through. So this one is a little bit more complicated. So I'm gonna go through it slow. Downward dog, come into the plank. I'm gonna kick my leg through and then open my hips up to the sky, come back through, plank position. Told you some of these are gonna get you. Downward dog, come forward, kick my leg through, and then open my body up, pushing my hips to the ceiling, come back into that plank. Downward dog again, come forward, extend, and open those hips to the ceiling. Really turning my body open, challenging my shoulders, stretching it out. Kick that leg through. 3, 2, and 1. Back into the floor. Told ya. Okay. So now we're going to do a straddle stretch as we're still working those hips. And this straddle is with me working my knees. Some of you guys may have seen this one already on one of the stretches. If you haven't, here we go. So if you have a towel or a stick or something, I usually use something to keep my hands behind my head or just behind me like so. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work my legs. I'm gonna flex my toes, stretch my body upward, And I'm gonna work on my knee dragging it in. When I drag this knee in, I then gotta drop the knee inward and then open it up and slide it out. And every time I do this, I gotta pull it hard and then I gotta drop it in so soft and then right back out. So inhale in, exhale, drop that knee, exhale back out, inhale in, exhale, drop that knee, exhale out. Never said it was easy. Major hip flexor challengers. Engage. And exhale, relax. Okay, so that one's number 4. Number 5 is another difficult one. It's with the pigeon. So I'm gonna turn to the top of my mat. I'm gonna make sure that my knee is on the mat, both of them, and I'm parallel. So I'm making sure that my hip is sitting on the floor. I'm forward and I'm sitting up straight. The first thing that I'm trying to do is lift this knee up and drop it. Lift this knee up and then drop it. Goal here is to then lift it, rotate it around, pull it back in, and rotate it back around. But the first thing you gotta get comfortable doing is just leading with the lift up. So let's do this a couple times, engaging our core. And then on that 5th one, we're gonna lift it. We're gonna rotate it forward, pull it back in, and rotate it around. Now let's try that 4 more times. Lift, rotate, extend it back in, or should I say pull it back in? We should be extending it out. So lift it, rotate and extend it out. Inhale, rotate it back around. That's 3, 4, extend it, in, out. Ooh, that's 5. Lift, out, in, back, and then rotate. So now I'm gonna switch to the other side. So I'm gonna rotate my body to the other end of my mat, and I'm gonna work on that knee lifting first and resting. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now while I'm lifting this knee, my right hip and knee has to stay on the floor. So I'm challenging myself big time to stay upright. 4, 5. Now here we go. Let's lift it. Let's extend it around. Inhale and rotate it back around and rest. Inhale up, flex, inhale. Here we go. Inhale. Make sure you rotate that knee all the way back around. Lift it up, rotate it forward, extending the leg out. Pull it in, rotate it back around. One more for the no reason. Just for the challenge. Now, let's fall forward. Give yourself 10 seconds here. Stretching that butt cheek and hip. Still staying square on your mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Rotate to the other side and fall forward. 10 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. And just like that, we went through one whole round of that. So I'm gonna start back at that Spider-Man stretch, lizard pose, and we're gonna push open those hips again. So we're gonna go out to a plank. We're gonna see how much more range of motion we have, and then extend back, and then press, step it up, push that knee away, and then push back, extend, Spider-Man again, push away, kick it up, and place it down. Let's step that hip out. Ooh, I'm feeling nice and loose, getting nice and warm. 5, 4, 3, 2, and one more time on that last side. Spider-Man lizard pose. into a plank leg raise, kick back. Very good. Now I'm going to the top of my mat, bottom of my mat. Here comes this hopping squat. So I'm in my heels. I'm gonna place my hands out in front of me and jump. 1, jump. 2, jump. 3. Walk back to the top of the mat. Do it again. Nice and low in my squat. Stretch those hips. Reach. 1, 2, 3. And then walk back to the top of that mat. I forgot an exercise, guys. So I'm gonna have to make sure I add this last one in with our side lunges. Stretching. 3, 2, goblet stretches. All right. So before I go into the shadow stretch, I forgot one. So I'm gonna go center of my mat and I'm gonna open my legs nice and wide. And this is with me crawling myself out. So I'm gonna go to the end of my mat, the edges of the mat, and I'm gonna walk my hands out 4 steps until my butt is planked. Now pay attention to how I walk back, bending my knee and walking onto one side of my heel and stretching all of this and all of my hip. And I'm gonna go back out 1, 2, 3, squeeze my glutes. This time I'm gonna push into my left side now, getting my heel on the ground. Both heels are on the ground. I'm sitting on my heel on this side. I'm gonna roll back out on my tippy toes, back into the other side. Get that heel down. Feel that stretch. Even if you don't get that far, wherever you are, it's all about the range of motion. Here we go, last one. Squeeze them glutes. Sit into that heel, stretch that hip, inner thigh out. Very good. Okay, one more time because we missed it. This is a straddle stretch, but you are also working your inner thighs, your side lunges. So 1, 2, 3, squeeze those glutes. Now let's slowly bend the knee, sit into one side, feel that stretch, then come back out. There's more to go with that. There's more to come with that. Feel that heel, that inner thigh, walk back out, squeeze those glutes. Let's push back into that side. Very good. Good movement. Should be feeling nice and warm. Make sure you're breathing because that breathing is helping us to pay attention to our movements. All right, now let's sit on the floor. Now we're doing that straddle stretch. And this is the one that you're doing mobility with your knees. So hands behind the head. If you got something to hold, hold it behind you. For example, I have a band. So I'm going to show you with the band in my hand. Give resistance. Goal is inhaling. Exhale with the relax. Inhale, engage. If you need to breathe, just don't pant. Take long, deep breaths in. Long exhales out. See how far you can go with that knee down to the floor, and don't try to twist your body. So we got this here. So we just isolate that hip. 3, 2, 1. Very good, guys. All right. Now let's finish on that last one. That pigeon. Remember that we are lifting our knee up and we are challenging ourselves to rotate. So parallel your body on your mat. Make sure that this leg is parallel as well. We're going to lift it up and drop it down. Lift it up, drop it down. Lift that hip flexor up, drop it down. 2, 1. Now let's lift it up and let's rotate it around. Bring it in, bring it back, rotate it back around. Gave you a little challenge that time. Inhale, extend it, kick it back out, rotate it all the way back around. So all I did was, instead of leaving it in like this, I made you lock it back out and rotate it back around. Let's go. Open, extend it around, pull it in, kick it back, rotate it all the way back around that hip. Last one. And now let's fall forward. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Rotate, last one. Good job, guys. A little bit of movement is better than none. Remember that. Inhale, exhale. Lift that knee, drop that knee. Stay on that right butt cheek. Just like that. We're already at 15 minutes, guys. Last one. Now here we go. Lift, rotate, pull it in, extend it back, bring it back down. 1, up, rotate, inhale, out, down. That's 2. Back up, around, in. That's 3. Good job. 1, 2 more. Keep that body positioned. Last one. Knee, hip all the way around. Open, close it, and then bring it back down. Let's fall forward. Now I can always slide my knee down in this pigeon. That's preference on how much range of motion someone has. Otherwise, you just stay just like this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and just like that. 16 minutes. So now y'all see how quickly we can work and stretch and make this a benefit to our upper body, lower body, whatever part of our body. Just make ourselves feel good before we start our day. As usual, I appreciate you guys for being on here. Be on the lookout for more challenges to come. If you are on my page, look out for the push-up protein challenge. I'm about to be putting that out for the month of April. Going into April, we are going to start ASAP. That means a push-up every day, 30 push-ups, and a protein shake every single day so we can get these muscles to grow. If you down for it, get on my website, check in on the notifications. If you're on Facebook, look for push-ups and protein. I'm going to be making a group for that so that we can keep this going for future times to come. I thank you guys again for just joining me for this short period of time, and have a wonderful Thursday. Later. And then the end is near when you don't know how to turn the camera off.